The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back. Another hot episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy? Oh, you on mute? It's only like our 200 some episode, 300 some episode.
Roasted, dog. What's good with it, bro?
Man, it happened to the best of us. Man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be back. I tell you what, for those of you who have ever had to visit the mouse or mouse country, it ain't fun for adults.
Right.
It ain't fun for adults. I tell you, I leave it at that. I did have fun. They got free water though. That's nice. But hey, man, I just want to, give a shout out to everybody who, keep up with us. Been holding it down while we, in our absence. Want to say thank you. What up, Marv? Marv said fresh lineup. Yeah, I had to go get cleaned up today when I got back in town, man. But man, we got a good. What in the world? Oh, we got a good one tonight, man. We got to talk about this game, this LSU South Carolina game. South Carolina fans, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in y'all. I'm so disappointed in y'all. But man, we also got to talk about LSU. We got to talk about the Saints too, which is weird to say that. Is it crazy to think that we have so many questions about both teams, but for two opposite different reasons? A little bit of skepticism about both teams, shall I say, but for two different reasons. So
Yeah.
But we're gonna get there though. We're gonna talk about it tonight. We're gonna go, I guess we'll go around the SEC, go around college football. State of emergency in Florida.
Ain't looking good.
Looking good. And when I say in Florida, I ain't talking about just the University of Florida. I'm talking about Florida. I'm talking about Gainesville. I'm talking about Tallahassee. Ain't looking too good. Miami, only one looking like they buy something right now.
Yep.
Shout out to Cam Ward doing this thing. But we're gonna get there, man. But first, y'all know what we gotta do. We gotta give a shout out to our sponsor over at BetOnline. BetOnline.ag. We will be back in 1 minute. BetOnline.ag is your number one source for all your sports information, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds, lines, and player injury reports for this year's NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline is always your sports information headquarters. This season, we have you covered for all your sports wagering needs. We have everything from NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL to golf, tennis, UFC, and boxing. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games that you can play right from your home. Head on over to betonline.ag today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. Be sure to use the promo code BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts. Hey, we are back. Big game, big win for LSU on Saturday. It's crazy to say that considering, no disrespect to South Carolina, but that traditionally has not been a game where we necessarily look forward to it and look at as a big win. But kudos to South Carolina. They came in with all the confidence, played an exceptional game on defense. They started the game hot on offense. Sellers went down, and everything else from there went down too. And your initial thoughts on the game, though?
Man, that atmosphere was dope, bro. That crowd was live. That was loud. Um, and it was a rough environment for LSU to start the game. But I mean, when you consider game day being there and all the theatrics that come with that, you know what I mean? I think it all that led to a rough environment for LSU to play in. And then you come out with South Carolina getting the ball first. Pretty easy drive, if we want to be honest, to go down and score. Um, and from that point on, you was fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean? That crowd just had that much more excitement to it. South Carolina had that much more swagger to them. Then obviously you get down 17-0. We all know the pick six that could have been, but the horse collar tackle. But that first quarter, I think it was 120 something to 7 in terms of yardage, 130 something to 7, something like that in terms of yardage. You ran like 9 plays in the first quarter. I mean, you were just getting straight up dominated.
12. I
12
went
plays.
back.
Okay, it was 12
I
plays.
looked at play by play. Yes, it was crazy.
12 plays.
Yeah.
Okay, so you ran 12 plays. And then you look at South Carolina game plan, they was executing it perfectly. You know what I mean? They was running the football, dominating time possession, keeping LSU and Nussmeier off the field, keeping that defense out there. And I think it took them about a quarter and a half to settle down as a team, and especially Nussmeier to settle down. You know what I mean? And kind of play his game. And I think once he settled down, the rest of the team settled down a little bit, especially on offense. And once the offense got going, it made it a little easier for the defense, you know what I'm saying, to get rested and to play fresher and play with more attitude and fly around to the football a little bit more.
Yeah.
100% honest. I don't know if we win that game if Lenore Sellers doesn't get hurt.
I agree. That's fair. Very fair.
But in the second half, they were limited what they could do offensively. But LSU did what they should have did to a team that was kind of one dimensional. You know what I mean? They kind of shut them out, sold out on the run, and didn't allow them for much in that second half. I know Rocket Sanders had that big 60-something yard run on a broken, terrible angle by the safety, but I don't know, man. I saw a stat. Let me pull it up so I can give credit to the person who posted it. But I saw a stat on Twitter or X, whatever we calling it these days.
It's Twitter. It's gonna forever be Twitter.
So shout out to LSU fan on X who said Brian Kelly's teams don't quit. You can say what you want about them, but they don't quit. In 2022 versus Mississippi State, we trailed 13-0, won 36-16. 2022 at Auburn, trailed 17-0, won 21-17. 2022 Ole Miss, trailed 17-3, won 45-20. 2023 Arkansas trailed 13-3, won 34-31. Last year Missouri trailed 22-7, won 49-39. Last year Texas A&M trailed 24-14, won 42-30. Bowl game trailed 28-14, won 35-31. And then Saturday trailed 17-0 and ended up winning 36-33. So yeah, you could say Brian Kelly teams don't fight. And I did like the fact that once they got down 17-0, and then again at 24-10, you know, in this game Saturday, that they didn't hold their head. They continued to fall back and fight back and ended up finding a way to win the game. However, we got to address the getting down 17-0 part. This team Saturday looked unprepared to me, especially offensively. Um, and that's a good point, Dave. That's part of the problem I was finna get to also. But so why are we getting down double digits to teams that most people feel like aren't as good as us or aren't as talented as us? I feel like the offensive play calls early in the games, the quote unquote scripted plays that they game plan through for during the week, I feel like those have been terrible this season, early in these first three games of this season. Like we haven't had much success offensively early in games. You know what I mean? It's almost like he's calling plays to kind of see what the defense is going to do to it, so he can know what to call. You know what I'm saying? Later on in the game, and like I compared it to a counterpuncher in boxing, right? You know what I mean? Like he's not coming out, guns are blazing and on the attack. He's more so sitting there like, okay, I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna see what you're gonna do. Then now I know how to attack you.
Right.
And that's cool if you can still get points early in games. And I know we've had games where we could have taken points and didn't, you know what I mean, early in the games, but you still ain't having success like you should early in games. Whether it be because you can't get a yard in the red zone, or whether it be because you're going 3-and-out against South Carolina. So I would like to see from the beginning of the game the type of play calling that we saw in the second half of the game, where we saw a little more creativity offensively. We didn't see just inside zone on the running game. We saw counter, we saw them mixing up some different things. We saw different guys getting involved in the passing game. Like that's what I need to see from the beginning of the game going forward for me to feel like that this team is making strides. Other than that, all I can say about the South Carolina game was Saturday, you were more lucky than good, and that's why you won the game, bro.
Very well. Very well. I completely agree. And hey, I just want to say Marv, Dave, Andrew, Chuck, Jimbo, appreciates the comments. Y'all, a lot of them we're gonna bring up and talk about, but I want to go over this stat real quick because you talked about it. You talked about a stat and what you saw on Twitter. I'm gonna pull this one up really quick. I don't, and I hope this don't come back to bite me. I hadn't had a chance to fully vet this because I can't find where they got this from. Because I've never seen where they break it down by quarter. But wherever it is, can you see that, or is it?
Nah, I can't see that.
All right, let me see if I can. All right, is that better?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. So, basically, this and it we probably went back to the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it says, want to hear a crazy stat. This is from Grant Shastry. Says, want to hear a crazy stat? LSU outgained South Carolina 175-1. South Carolina only gained a single yard against LSU's defense in the third quarter. Was a large part of that to Lenore Sellers being out the second half? Yep. But if you take away Rocky Sanders' 66-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter, LSU only allowed 67 yards in the second half. Was that defense perfect? Nope. But Blake Baker made the adjustments to stop South Carolina's offense. Give credit where credit is due. And if that's not evident, I'm going to read something else to you. This is the play-by-play after coming out of half. This is just South Carolina. 3 plays, 5 yards, 2 minutes and 2 seconds, punt. 3 plays, -4 yards, 1 minute and 48 seconds, punt. 3 plays, 75 yards, 1 minute and 5 seconds, touchdown. 4 plays, 0 yards, 1 minute and 23 second field goal. 3 plays, -13 yards, 1 minute and 54 seconds, fumble. 3 plays, 2 yards, 2 minutes and 12 seconds, punt. Then you got 7 plays, 44 yards, 1 minute and 12 seconds, and then that's the end of the game. That's how your defense finished the game. So I think that if I counted that right, that's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possessions that South Carolina had in the second half. Only 2 possessions they actually got positive yards. Well, I'm sorry. 3 possessions they got positive yards. Only one that they scored a touchdown, and then the other they didn't get positive yards, but they got the ball at the 10 and kicked the field goal.
Yeah.
So that is albeit no matter who your opponent, that's impressive. It's been a minute since we had second half adjustments, in-game adjustments, period. So kudos to Blake Baker and that defense, as Shashri said. They weren't perfect, but give credit where credit is due.
I give them credit for the second half, but the first half was still atrocious.
Oh, much. Completely agree. Your comments about moving the ball and Sloan. Marvin had a comment. He asked, where was it? Or he I don't even see it now, but I think I forget what he said. Something about the first half. I don't know what it is. We talked about this at length on Twitter Spaces. You just mentioned it. Scripted plays. Wisconsin, scripted plays, terrible. They had some, some promise, but you had one miscue, like one drop pass, and that was the end of the drive. USC, you drive down the field, you can't do anything in the red zone. So you got scripted plays, but when you get to the red zone, what are you doing? Terrible. Against Nichols, if I'm not mistaken, first drive resulted in a punt.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you haven't scored on your first drive in any of the games, if I'm not mistaken.
At all. Scripted plays are atrocious. I almost want to say we're gonna go out there, we're gonna run the ball, and then we'll throw a pass, and then from there, saying call it as you see it. That's almost how I feel like you gotta be.
I mean, my question is yeah, you did punt the first drive versus Nichols. You went 4 plays, 19 yards, and punted. You scored on your second possession though. But my question is, why are you what's with the lack of preparation? You know what I mean? Like, why does this team always start off slow? Not just games, but seasons.
That's true. That's good. That's a very fair point.
To me, that screams lack of preparation, dog. And when you talk about not having the team prepared, that's on the coaching staff. And it's a different staff this year on the defensive side of the ball but yet we're still seeing a lot of the same things as far as starting slow. Second half adjustments might be better, but but still starting slow. Offense starting slow. Picked it up in the second half versus South Carolina, but still, like it seems like it's not these particular coaches on this staff as much as it is from the top that the lack of preparation is happening.
I wonder because shout out to Aaron, LSU fan Aaron. That's always in. He never really talked. He be in spaces and stuff all the time. But he sent me or sent us. It was a clip. Brian Kelly from a podcast interview he did, and it was a guy from Notre Dame, and they were talking. And Brian Kelly mentioned that he no longer necessarily focuses on one side of the ball or the other as far as that. He's more of the CEO type, kind of staying back, hands off. And I wonder if that's part of the issue, if he needs to be more involved. And I mean, on game day, yeah, do your thing, but maybe in the game prep, in the weeks, saying game planning and stuff, you need to be putting in your input. Hey, we need to be running this, we need to be running that.
Yeah. I mean, that could be, or maybe since he's kind of CEO and he's not heavily involved with one side or the other, you know what I mean? Maybe he's trying like helping come up with the game plan for both. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not strictly offense, I'm not strictly defense. I kind of just made like he could Sloan and Hankton come up with that game plan, and I almost said Madhouse, Lord. And Blake Baker come up with his game plan. And then, they meet with BK and he's like, yeah, I like this. I don't like this. I like this. I don't like this. Keep that. You know what I mean? Like, and in a sense, he would still just be CEO in the thing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, his handprint is a lot more on it than we would be led to believe. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how it's going, but all I'm saying is the common denominator in all these slow starts is Brian Kelly.
That's true. How so? Yeah. I was gonna say we didn't necessarily see it last year, but we did because we literally named games from last year where we had slow starts.
Yep.
Um,
I mean, even Florida State, you started the season kind of slow against Florida State. Maybe not offensively, but defensively, you got destroyed.
but yeah, definitely. Offensively, again, so last year against Florida State, we literally
We went for it early in the game and didn't get it.
Yeah, we marched down the field, so that goes back to the red zone again.
Yeah, but that's part. But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like it happened again this year in the red zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so.
USC.
The question, like I got a lot of questions. Like, is Brian Kelly the one who does the red zone game plan? You know what I mean? Like, because that's two different offensive coordinators have had trouble scoring in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't even if you go back to Denbrock first year, we had trouble in the red zone. It was just JD's legs helped us a lot in the red zone.
That's true. That's true. It's interesting. I don't know what to make of it. And the only reason I don't because we're not privy to who making what decisions and stuff, but we can make good speculations, and a lot of evidence is pointing in a certain direction. As you stated, we've had these issues through two coordinators on both sides of the ball. Both sides of the ball. Marv asks, do you think BK have his boys up and ready to play with attitude?
Let me ask you this, Marv. How much attitude have you seen LSU play with?
They dance with a lot of attitude in the locker room.
I mean, they celebrate with attitude. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I don't see I don't see the dogs out there on the field. You know what I'm saying? That swagger attitude. I mean, yeah, they celebrate when they make a play like that, but they don't always play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so it's
I saw it. I'm gonna be honest with you. The first time I really I looked, I was like, okay, I'm seeing the defense that we thought was the second half
yeah, Braden
of
Swinson.
this game.
Braden Swinson he played big Saturday.
I'm let me give him credit. I'll say second quarter, starting at the second quarter when they started making plays, especially close to the end, close to the halftime. I started seeing it then, and then it carried over. So
Yeah, and Perkins played a great game too. I know he ain't gonna get a lot of credit for it, but he opened up a lot of things for other people.
I'm telling you
But
who else ain't gonna get a lot of credit. Major Burns. People gonna hate him. Major Burns played pretty good game. He had if I'm not mistaken, forced fumble or fumble recovery or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was that. It was he had a stop on the quarter.
I thought Sage Ryan forced the fumble.
Was it Sage Ryan who forced the fumble? I know Major Burns was in there. I can't remember if he
I
forced it or
thought
recovered.
Sage forced it and Perkins recovered it.
Was
I
it that
could
one?
be wrong though.
No. It was another play that either it was that or he got back there and got a sack. I can't remember what it was, but it was like 2 or 3 plays that Burns made, and I was like, people gonna be real quiet.
Yeah, because I'm if I'm not mistaken, Sage forced the fumble, and then like the next possession, he gave up
Hold on.
the long run on the quarterback because he missed the angle on the tackle.
Hold on.
Because it
I'm
was like
looking.
good Sage, bad Sage in like 3 plays. Yeah, Dave said Sage forced it and Perk got on it. That's what I thought.
Okay. No, I'm looking. It was a tackle for loss that he had. It was a tackle for loss. So
Yeah, but nah, they the defense played well. I just need to see it from the beginning of the game, man. That's my my only critique.
yeah, I completely agree. But I do want to bring this up before we get ready to move on. I want to talk about South Carolina and their fans. We talked about, saying the 3 and outs. We talked about second half inefficiencies and stuff. Stat 175 to 1. Um, after the game, Danny Girl was hosting the space. And a South Carolina fan came in there and said he first came in and he said something about, hey, just want to say, congratulations. People were kind of goading him because I guess I wasn't in there. So I guess Friday night he had came in spaces talking big cash money BS. And a lot of people, saying a lot of LSU fans weren't hearing it. And then so they kind of start getting out them and say, nah, you was loud, saying be as loud. And then he said the famous words of every 8-year-old on the planet: the referees cheated. The referees is the reason. And the reason I say every 8-year-old on the planet, because that's every time something happened. Dylan said that yesterday about the Chiefs game. It's the referee's fault. But yeah, he said the referees. Then we started looking down the timeline, and every South Carolina fan was talking about, I'm not going to say every, 90% of the South Carolina fans were talking about the horse collar and the block in the back. And you pulled up the rules.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I think I still got them here. Let me see if I can put them on the jumbotron here. Let everybody see what the rules say. No, they ain't on here. Where'd they go? Where'd you put them?
I sent them to you, I think.
Yeah, I thought so too. Why it ain't showing up?
Oh no, I sent it to the group chat.
To the group, yeah. I ain't gonna put them up there, but and can you tell me
Hold on,
what the rules say?
Let me go to my photos. They're still in there.
Right.
Which one you want first?
Let's talk about the horse collar because that seemed to be a point of contention.
All right. Article 15. All players are prohibited from grabbing the inside, back, or side collar of the shoulder pads of jersey or the nameplate area and abruptly pulling the ball carrier down. This part is highlighted. This part right here that I'm about to read next. This rule applies to a ball carrier, including a potential passer who is inside the tackle box.
So you no longer have to put your hand inside of the collar.
Yep, you can grab the nameplate. You can grab the side of the collar. You know, it's clearly
The
says
shoulder, yeah. Basically pulling a player back from behind, pulling them back. One thing I will say that does not apply to it's usually high up on the body. That's not saying if you grab them from their waist, you know, saying from behind. That's different. That's completely different story. That's what horse collar is. People seem to be I don't know if it's just in South Carolina because they seem to don't know a lot of rules or changes and stuff. Same with the block in the back or the what's it called? The blind side block. And what does that rule say?
Article 7. A blindside block is an open field block against an opponent that is initiated from outside the opponent's field of vision or otherwise in such a manner that the opponent cannot reasonably defend themselves against the block.
So, if for instance, if I throw a pass and I start running in the direction of I threw that pass and you come from an angle that's behind my right ear, whether you hit me, you know what I'm saying, even if you hit me from the side, that's a blind side block.
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure because they seem to not understand that. And a lot of fans, South Carolina fans, are blaming the refs for that. But we read the stats, and they only got 1 yard in the third quarter. They only got what?
68,
touchdown?
68 and 70, something like that in the second half. No, they got because they had 100 and something in the second half because of that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. You know what the 100 is? They got they got 75 on the Rocky Sanders run, and they got let's see, 2 right here, and they got 44 on that last drive.
Yeah.
So you literally have 46 yards outside of 1 drive in the second half. You had 7 drives, so 6 drives resulted in. Oh no, and that's not even right because that's less than that because you had negative yards. Anyway, y'all get the point. Come on, man. You can't say it's
and
right.
they got 31 yards on that last drive on one play. 31 of the 44.
But it's the referees. LSU couldn't stop a cold last year, and they got 3 and outs, and it literally, you know, they held you without yards for pretty much 5 of your last 7 drives.
Yeah.
It's not the refs, it's your offense. You know, I hate to say it, and I wish Lenore Sellers the best. I hope he gets healthy and bounces back. But that's come on, y'all. You got to blame yourselves.
Who does he remind you of?
Lenore Sellers.
Yeah.
This might be taking it back. What's the kid that played Nick Marshall?
He bigger than Nick Marshall to me.
That's what he reminds me of. Just because I guess the I don't expect him to pass. I know he can pass, but he dangerous with his legs. That's the first thing that pops in my mind.
I get that.
Yeah. He kind of, I mean, he's not as big as KJ Jefferson, but
nah, but I could see that comp. Like the first person that came to my mind was Jacoby Brissett.
Ooh. I can see that.
He might not be quite the passer yet, you know what I mean? But I think he could get there, you know what I mean? I think, and before Jacoby had the ACL injury, he was pretty mobile.
Yeah. Paul's Hub says that Sellers apparently has a Liz Frank injury and might be out. Might be a while for his return. Yikes! Yikes! So Jimbo posted this earlier, and I kind of agree with part of this. He said South Carolina came to play, bro. It's crazy how resilient this LSU team is. We're going to look back at this as a season-defining win, and I agree that I agree that we probably will look back at this as a season-defining game or season-defining win. But I think it's for different reasons. It's not necessarily because of how good South Carolina is. I think this is the one where LSU might turn a corner and look at this and kind of gain a little confidence.
Yeah, I think it depends on how the season plays out, on how we look at this game. You know what I mean? Like, if we lose 3-4 games going forward, we're gonna look at this game like, hey, that was the game that gave us all the red flags. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true. That's fair.
But if we go on to win, how many games we got left? 9. If we go on to win 8 of the 9 or whatever that we got left or something like that, then yeah, we're gonna say that's the game where we kind of turn things around in that second half. You know what I mean? So I think it kind of depends on how the season goes, but I think this game will tell us a lot one way or another.
Yeah. I overall, as we get ready to wrap this up, as far as this game, overall, it was a good win. I don't feel necessarily better about this team overall. I feel better about the defense. I see improvement in spots here and there. So that's kind of where I look at this. I do want to say, because there was a South Carolina fan that made reference to hoping that Nussmeier tears his ACL.
That's messed up.
And Dad, if you're watching, I apologize, but it must be said. I think you are an absolute piece of shit. You are a terrible. He's probably a young, fresh out of college or college kid. But I'll say this: you have a lot to growing to do in this world.
For real.
All the hissy fits and stuff because your team lost the game and wishing injuries upon people. You are a characterless, spineless wimp. I'm gonna say that coward. I will use some other words, but I don't want to get blackballed by any community. So I'll just say that, and I'll leave it there. It takes zero courage to get on an app and use a completely different person's avatar, because of course we know it's not you. You got Joel Embiid as your avatar. You use a completely different person's avatar, hide behind the keyboard and talk crap about a young man who's out there just playing the game. Like I said, when Sellers went down, I don't think any LSU fan cheered. We hated that he went down. Hated that he was injured, and to say some stuff like that, it's just, like I said, it's cowardless and spineless. So
yeah, that's I know we're gonna get there later in the show, but that's same for the people who talk about Katrina. You know what I mean? Whenever a team win from Louisiana win, whether it's the Saints or the LSU or somebody like this.
Yeah. All because you don't have the some of y'all weren't raised on the dozens, and it shows. You're soft. I almost said something, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. You soft. Sharman. Danny asked this question, and then we can move on. Why is our game all about the comeback and resiliency, but there was no celebrating comeback by Georgia, only criticism? Let's go there. Georgia survived a scare against Kentucky, won 13-12.
I guess
We're in two different. I'll say we are in two different positions.
I feel like
So-
we in two different classes, us in Georgia.
Mhm.
Like they tier 1 and we tier 2 right now. You know what I mean? And then on top of the fact that so we played the team that just blew out somebody. You know what I mean? And then they was up on us and we came back. You know what I'm saying? Georgia played a team that just got blown out. And then they ended up having to you know what I'm saying, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it wasn't like a big comeback, I think they was only down like 6 or something. You know what I mean? But
Right.
so I think it's the fact that one like our opponent was seen as better than what Georgia's opponent was viewed as.
Mm-hmm.
You know, considering they just blew them out, and Georgia is considered to be better than us. So if us in South Carolina is a smaller gap, you know what I mean, that's gonna look more impressive than Georgia coming back versus a team that they got a big gap against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Georgia's good for this once a year anyway. It was Missouri the last couple years. Was Kentucky now. And it may happen again. I'll say this another
Which is
reason.
crazy to me because they got a bye next week or this weekend. You know what I mean?
So there's nothing to look forward to. It was no look ahead game.
Look forward to a bye. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they play Bama after that, but they still got a bye though.
Yeah. I'll say this. Georgia also has they've got a different culture going on right now.
Yeah, they got another arrest.
Yeah, they did. I saw that for speeding. Go figure. But they have a different set of standards over there that they have right now versus what LSU has. LSU fans have a standard, but this team, they have not reached a point to where they've set a
That's fair.
hey, the standard is, we've got a championship pedigree. We're gonna win championship. That's not we're not there yet. So I do that's one of the differences in that. That game, it was ugly.
I ain't even watch it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I kind of back and forth keeping up with other stuff. So yeah, it was ugly. I think I saw the game close. Now, at any time I was expecting Georgia to just come out and blow it wide open, and they never did. So
yeah, I ain't watched none of that.
Yeah. So
I thought it was gonna be a blowout. That's why I ain't watch it. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like you. I was keeping track of it on my phone, and every time I go to check the score, I'm like, "Oh, Georgia gonna be up 10. Georgia gonna be up 12. 13, whatever." It was always close game, but I still didn't ever tune into it.
Yeah. So
I was watching your boy.
Who that?
Prime.
Oh. You want to go there?
Oh, it don't matter.
All right. Since you brought it up. Oh shoot, what did I just do? Since you brought it up, Shedeur, Coach Prime, and Travis Hunter went down and took on Colorado State in a match where there's a lot of bad blood. It was kind of lopsided and just weird. That route. I mean, I get the history of the rivalry, but the actual like back and forth now is just really weird.
Yeah. I was trying to think of another like G5, P5 in-state rivalry.
Oh, I tell you one now. Houston Rice. That's by it.
Yeah, but that's
I know because they just came. So
yeah,
they
that
just moved.
started. Yeah, they started.
Um, ooh. What is another one?
And Rice might be going to the Pac-12, so you never know. That might be a P4 right there. Now I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna get that. I got that too. Got that on here too. Rice ain't alone out of that conference USA going with them either, from what I heard.
Possibly.
No, Rice. I'm sorry. It's Rice in
America.
America.
Yeah,
I meant the American. They're not the only ones out of the
yeah.
Americans.
Tulane and Memphis. Tulane and
Yeah,
Memphis too. Yeah.
yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, the Colorado State game. I mean, I was kind of hoping we'd get a game like last year, but um Colorado State wasn't the same team as last year.
nope.
Um, but that there you go. That's one. They both power forward, Danny. But they
That one. But see, that's still another one. Cincinnati just moved up.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ain't too many where they been in a power program. The only other one I could think of was BYU and Utah,
And
but
Utah was
BYU is
in.
now power. You know what I'm saying? But so um that's why I don't think LSU and Tulane will ever be a rivalry though. Just because one P4,
Not
one P5.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Colorado State, Colorado. It was alright. Travis Hunter, dog. He should. If we talking about the Heisman going to the best player in college football,
He should probably be
he should be the winner. Um,
easily.
I mean, the man had like 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Like it's video game stuff, man. But yeah, they I don't know, man. Colorado State just didn't. They didn't. I was kind of disappointed in them. I wanted them, especially after their quarterback was talking all that noise and all that. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting them to put up a little more of a fight.
Yeah. Chuck says, I'm sick of them in Boulder. They have created a circus. Yeah. Um. After the game, Shedeur and the quarterback met him at half, midfield to shake his hand. And Shedeur, I ain't even see all the video and hear everything he said, but Shedeur basically kind of wouldn't shake his hand, saying talk little, saying a little trash to him. And kid just walked off. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I expect something like this, or I can expect something like this.
I'm kind of torn though.
I'm not, because Shedeur does it all the time.
That's part of the reason why I'm torn.
Mm-hmm.
Because on one hand, it's like dude been talking mad noise,
Mm-hmm.
and now he want to come try to play it cool. You know what I'm saying? Like this another thing. We don't know what happened before the game, right? Like they could have tried. Like Shedeur could have probably. I ain't gonna say probably, but Shedeur could have went up and tried to shake dude hand before the game, and dude like talking noise or something. You know what I mean? So like, first of all, we don't know the context, but secondly, don't try to talk noise then be cool with me, dog. Like, not right now, dog. We in the heated moment of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. But on the other hand, it's like You could talk noise for the game. Once the game over with, just dap it up. You know what I'm saying? And good game. Sportsmanship, respect the game, whatever. You ain't got to be cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Just dap them up and go about your business. But I'm leaning more on the side of I ain't really got a problem with it. I probably wouldn't have talk noise back to the dude. You know what I mean? But I'm cool with him not shaking the dude's hand. If dude was talking mad noise and what I'm saying, he felt like that was kind of fake. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like Shedeur always in these type situations. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to kind of defend him in this one.
I kind of take the UFC/boxing approach. I once heard Mike Tyson say, I hate him. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to eat his kids. I'm going to eat his kids. And then after the fight said, he's a great competitor. I enjoyed the match and stuff. After he got beat, great competitor and stuff and talked about. So I've seen it, you know what I'm saying? Same with UFC. I mean, pushing, shoving, ready to fight, you know what I'm saying, in each other's face. And then after the match, they not only are they shaking hands, they hugging and you know what I'm saying, hey, I've seen that so many times. And yeah, it's weird to me. It's weird to me. But I understand the competitive part of it. Hey, once the game is over, you know what I'm saying, it's a respect for, you know what I'm saying, what you did on the field and we can move on.
Yeah, this to me was more the problem with Shedeur. Last week you threw your offensive line under the bus. A lot of people said by asking about Dylan Raiola, how many times he got hit and all this kind of stuff. Then this week you bring them and stand them behind you like some show and tell prop. You know what I mean? Just to say that, oh, everything good with my offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing damn well they ain't have no choice but to go stand behind him. You know what I mean? Like I just that was unnecessary. And I know you're trying to make it seem like everything good, but that ain't the way to do it, bro.
Yeah. I'm good on it. I just I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. You know who his dad is, and you know how his daddy is. He, as of late, has basically would not answer a reporter because the reporter worked for CBS and not even national CBS Sports. I'm sorry, not even national CBS Sports. He worked for like an affiliate, like a local station.
Yeah, the Denver
And
station.
and Prime went asked this question because they picked Colorado to finish last.
They picked Dion. They ranked Dion as the second worst coach in the Big 12.
Okay, ranked them as second worst coach. There you go. Thank you for the clarity.
Mm-hmm.
There was another reporter who has been banned by the school because he was openly critical and talked about the. Now, I will say some of the stuff he was saying was just outright, just ridiculous and kind of it's childish and petty. But Dion basically banned him or the school banned him for that, and it's just like I soft culture, man.
Yeah,
It's kind of soft to me. You know what I'm saying? It's I get to an extent, I get it. It's a respect thing. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's how I look at it. I'm like Chuck though. I'm tired of some because it's Travis Hunter. I don't think I've seen anybody say something about Travis Hunter and say it's outside of Dylan, say the kid can't play or anything like that. And then Dylan did come back and say, say, yeah, he played pretty good. He's good, but I still think he's overrated. I said, okay. But I haven't heard.
That one ain't overrated. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I tried to explain to everybody who's talked to him and tried to explain to him, but he made his mind up. He get it from his mama. Anyway, I don't want to even watch the games because of the theatrics and circus and stuff behind it. That's where I'm kind of at, and it's like
I just honestly, I just watched to see what Travis Hunter gonna do.
Yeah.
Like to me, Travis Hunter is must see television.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Um, starting off slow. Let's talk about starting off slow. Florida State. Whew. Why we couldn't play it this year? Why we couldn't open the state with Florida State this year? Why we couldn't open with USC last year and Florida State this year?
Because we supposed to be good teams.
My word. Florida State has been horrible. I actually, here's the crazy part, and I literally had a parlay lined up with Memphis.
You picked Florida State to win?
No, I'm saying I had a parlay lined up with Memphis in it. And I said, nah, ain't no way. And pulled and shut it down. I would have made some money.
I had Memphis. I picked Memphis to win now. Yeah, that was I mean, that was easy to see once the first two games happened. Memphis run the football, Florida State can't stop the run. I mean, Florida State in trouble, man. They and what's crazy is Norvell doubled down on DJU, talking about he puts us in good he puts us in good positions and to win and stuff. Man, stop it, bro. Stop it, bro. That's gotta be frustrating as a Florida State fan. Knowing that your coach gonna keep riding with this quarterback, even though he ain't gonna. Yeah, that's frustrating.
Anybody checked on Ben Dennis lately? I know he going through it.
Couldn't happen to a better program.
Well, it is happening to a better program. Florida ain't too far behind. After getting mollywopped, woodshed, and spanked by Texas A&M this past Saturday, to the tune of what was that score? I'm trying to find it now. Get the what was it? It wasn't even close. 33-20. Yeah, this game was out of hand early, and Florida made it look a lot better than it was. Reports have come out. I don't know how true they are, but one guy is reporting that Florida is looking to make a move to fire Billy. On 3-star reporting it too.
They said Billy said that he ain't had no discussions about his job. On 3 said that Florida raised the $26 million for his buyout, but I haven't seen anything said. And then there was that one that said the board was supposed to be meeting Sunday morning or whatever, but
right
about that since then.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I've only seen the one person. It was 33 more. I got pulled up from ESPN and say 33-20.
But if they lose to Mississippi State, he might be out of there, bro.
Yeah. Hey, you said Billy Napier said nobody can't talk to him. I'll say this, and I got laid off a couple times, and ain't nobody come talk to me before they, told me it was over with.
I mean, that's what I was thinking too. You know what I mean? Like,
hey,
when you have that discussion, it's gonna be, hey, we letting you go. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. when COVID happened and I got that phone call, I was like, damn, this is my day off. I can't even y'all can't even let me have this.
Man, got fired on the day off. Damn.
Bruh, I was hurt. I
But
was
nah,
I was
on some serious note, if they lose to Mississippi State, he getting fired, bro. Because they got a bye week next week. Perfect time to fire him going into the bye week.
yeah. Perspective, LSU fans, it could be worse. You could be Florida State, Florida, and as Dana say, Mississippi State. She actually asked which fan base is having a worse season, Florida State, Florida, or Mississippi State.
Florida
I
State.
say easily Florida State.
They was ranked
Easily
in the top
Florida
10 to start the season, even though that was a fluke. But Florida State,
yeah.
I think it's in order based off the way she typed it.
Actually, you know what? That's yeah.
Because Mississippi State didn't have no expectations this year.
Yeah. Which I think is still, I don't know if I would
Even
have got
though,
rid of
even though,
Arnett.
even though, you know, they ain't looking too hot, man.
Yeah.
They got blown out. They got blown out by Toledo.
All right. Let me move on, man. This one's I know you probably weren't expecting to hear to add this on the doc, but I got an important question with this. South Alabama put the work to Northwestern State. 87-10. They set a Sun Belt scoring record. But a lot of people are asking about South Alabama still in the fourth quarter going for it and stuff. Actually, they ended up moving it like running clock 6 minute.
They did a 6-minute fourth quarter, yeah.
Yeah, 6 minute fourth quarter.
So some sports books didn't cash the over because the game wasn't 55 minutes long.
That's so terrible. That is so terrible. But South Alabama fourth quarter going for it on fourth down and stuff. But that's something they've been doing for a while. That I know. They always go for it. Fourth quarter. It don't matter what the score is. I don't care if they up or whatever.
Somebody need to beat their ass 103-0.
My question was, and you just said, my question is actually, is it fair or foul?
Like, what do you get out of running the score up? Congratulations, Major Applewhite. You got your first win as a head coach of South Alabama. Congratulations. Like you gotta like what are you getting out of beating the FCS school by 77 points? Like seriously, like what do you get out of that?
Oh no. I don't know. Like I said, I just know they have been doing that for a long time. They did, as a matter of fact, last year against ULM. That's the first time I saw them do it, but I knew they had been doing it for a while. They was up like 50 something to like 7, and it was fourth quarter. And it was like
trash,
fourth and something.
Man. That's trash, bro.
Yeah.
That's like honestly, bro. I'm not condoning this by any means, but that's how people get hurt.
That's true. Oh, and it's with the starters.
Yeah, I know. That's what make it even worse. That's how people get hurt. Cause you ain't finna embarrass me. You know what I'm saying? For like you already beat me this bad. Like if I get you, if I get you to 4th and 3, punt the ball, bro. It's gonna be a long season for Major Applewhite, though. I looked at that schedule.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long. So I guess he was just trying to get some wins where he could.
We talked about several different games, but thoughts on any other games from week 3? I forgot I this ain't a rub it in the face. Pause. This ain't a I got you. But that UNLV Kansas game.
Oh yeah.
Hey, listen,
Oh, speaking
Kansas.
of our picks, we gotta go over them games.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So Friday, it was
UNLV
UNLV and Kansas.
Kansas.
UNLV won.
Yeah, I picked UNLV in that one. You picked Kansas. Then there was the very next game, number 20 Arizona versus Kansas State. I picked Arizona. You picked Kansas State. Kansas State won that one. Come very
Blew 'em out.
easily.
Yeah, blew them out.
Yeah.
Lost me some
Alabama
money.
versus Wisconsin.
That was easy.
Easy. LSU, South Carolina, of course, LSU. Boston College versus Missouri. We both picked Missouri. And then Oklahoma versus Tulane. I picked Tulane. You picked Oklahoma. Oklahoma won. That game was close.
Yeah,
That was close.
it was closer than so.
Yeah. So you went 4-1, and I went 3-2 again, and for the third week in a row. Dylan. I think Dylan only got 2 games. He went 2-4. No, I said 3. I'm sorry. I went 4-2. You went 5-1. Dylan went 2-4. So yeah. And he was pulling for. It's funny because Dylan was running around. We in a resort in the room. We watched it. We went back and watched the rest of the game before we went to the pool. Dylan was running around yelling and stuff when LSU hit the field goal. So yeah.
Diddy got arrested.
Who?
Diddy.
Oh man. It's a wrap. Take that. I tell you what, the prison system got one of the best talent show nights.
Chill out, man.
I'm for real with Kelly and
now you got Weinstein and them making movies.
I was just gonna say you got Weinstein and what's his name? Ain't Blueface in there somewhere making the terrible music?
I don't know. Young boy probably in there somewhere.
That's hilarious. But yeah. Where we at? I think is where we at. We got before we get there. We mentioned it. The Pac-12 is back, baby. The Pac-12 is back. Almost close, getting there. They announced the addition of 4 more teams. Those teams are 4 more teams. Those teams: Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. This, you know what's funny? Every team in the Pac-12 right now is a state. Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, Oregon State, San Diego State, Washington State.
Yeah, that
Idaho State.
The Mountain West screwed that up, dog. When they the Pac-12 was trying to merge with them, they ain't want to do it. So the Pac-2 was like, I'm gonna take y'all best teams then. So it's they still gotta have like 2 more teams, I think.
They need to get 8.
To get 8, to be recognized as a conference or whatever. So AAC, they coming for you.
Yeah. I saw Tulane. We talked about Tulane, Rice, Memphis.
UTEP.
UTEP.
I've seen them mentioned. I mean, we'll see. I think Colorado should go join the Pac-12. They also said possibly Stanford and Cal coming back also.
It makes more sense. It don't make sense for what's called but anyway. It don't make sense for Tulane to do that.
But it'd just be for the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it asked, she said, did I miss Saints talk? Nope. We briefly mentioned it, but here we go. After, well, or I ain't gonna say after. It's only fitting that Derek Carr and Dennis Allen find some magic and have the Saints rolling. Shout out to Kubiak. Because the offense, they mentioned I
Kubiak
think
for mayor.
they mentioned at the beginning of the game that I think the first 13 possessions of the season by the Saints, first team
15.
offense,
15.
it's first 15 now. First 15 they've scored on. That is, hey, on any level, that is elite.
Yes, sir. And the creativity on offense, man, though, like Kamara getting touches, Taysom Hill running the ball. Shaheed had multiple carries. Chris Olave had a carry. They run in motion more. I think they lead the NFL in play action percentage. But whenever you're running the football the way you've been able to with Kamara and them boys behind them, and that offensive line, which was thought to be the weak point of this team, playing
Agreed.
tremendously. I mean, you gotta tip your cat to Kubiak, man. Not only is he dialing up the right play calls, he's helping that offensive line. Michael Parsons mentioned the way that they game planned and blocked him was something he'd never seen before. You know what I mean? The way that they use multiple chip blocks and all this kind of stuff. So, man, this you gotta tip your cap to him, man. A lot of people said after week one, it's just the Panthers. You know what I mean? Let's see them do it against somebody else. Well, they did it against somebody else. A team that's won 12 games, like multiple seasons in a row. You know, they were like the number 2 seed last year. I mean,
They had now lost. If I'm not mistaken, they had 16
16
straight
straight. Yeah,
regular season wins.
at home.
They had that's
Yeah, and you beat them at home. You know what I mean? Like that's the
not just beat them, dominated.
Yeah,
throttled.
Yep. No, I mean all phases of the game, bro. You know what I mean? Like you gave up one big play to CD Lamb, where Honey Badger kind of over pursued. And that was really like the extent of Dallas's offense, man. You know what I mean? They didn't do much other than that. I mean, they didn't have any answers for our offense, and their offense couldn't do anything. I will say it's still early in the season. It's a long way to go, but I am very optimistic in what I've seen so far, and I'm starting to believe that this team can do something this year.
Yeah. Everybody's seen the clip by now of the screen pass to Kamara where Cesar Ruiz was booking it down the field. When you see stuff like that, a lot of people, oh, good hustle. You know what I'm saying? Big man moving. I'm gonna tell you what I saw, Ant. I saw a man that believes in his team.
Yeah.
I saw a man who said, I'm gonna put it on the line to make sure we get in this end zone. Effort is not taught. And people put in effort when they believe in something.
Yeah.
He believed in his team, and that wasn't the only time I saw effort on it, you know what I'm saying, in that game. But that it was just like the epitome, you know, for him to run almost step for step with Kamara to try to make a block. That said a lot. So, like I said, that tells me a lot about this team, and I'm excited. I'm still holding my breath. I'm being reserved just simply because I'm getting older and my heart can't take it anymore like it used to. If another Rams pass interference type play happen, man, that might take me out of here on the glory.
I will say at least this year it's only one team that's giving me stress so far. The Saints been kind of stress free. It's just LSU.
Well, I added a team this year.
Yeah.
So I can't.
You went from, but to be fair though, you left the high school team alone, so you
That's true.
you just swapped over.
Yeah. And the little league team picked up. But yeah, like I said, I saw a lot of push in there, a lot of fight. We didn't mention with the college about the Tulane Rice game. Man, shout out to them, man. Shout out Willie Fritz getting his first career Power
You
4
just
win.
called them people too lame too.
Oh, I did not. I said Houston. We're gonna edit that. Shout out to Houston.
This
Getting
is
his first.
live.
I know. Shout out to Houston getting his first and Coach Willie Fritz getting his first career Power 4 win. You know, it's huge. I know what it meant to him. So yeah. Man. But back to the Saints. I am, like I said, I'm excited, but I'm optimistically excited. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistically excited.
Yeah, that's fair. That's why I'm at with it.
Yeah. Outside of that, man, other week 2 games. So I actually, because I was driving all yesterday, there were 2 other games that I actually listened to almost in completion on the radio. Listen to the Saints, of course, that Bengals Chiefs game, which sound like a good, a great game. I'm gonna tell you the part that makes it bad. We stopped to use the restroom, and I got out of the car, and Dylan said, "Oh, we won. That's game." I said, "Game over." He said, "Nah." He says, "It's 4th and 16, like 17 seconds left." And I told him, "That don't mean the game over." We went inside, used the restroom. We got back to the car, and all I heard was, "No, no." He said, "Well, we lost by a point. They kicked the field goal." I said, "Yep, I knew that was gonna happen." Mm. So okay, so Danny brings this up. She said the media lied to us. St. Camps report where how trash the O line was. LSU camps were how elite our O line was.
To be fair, it wasn't just Saints camp. Did you
Oh,
see the
that's
O
true.
line in the preseason?
Yeah, they look bad. They look real bad.
Like we actually had evidence of the Saints offensive line being bad.
Josh said, "I thought Zimmerman was about to cry on the sideline."
Boy, Mike Zimmer can't do nothing with a Shanahan offense, dog. Whether it's us, San Francisco, Green Bay, like if it's from that tree, he can't do nothing with it, man.
Dog, who was it that the San Francisco beat in week 1? I'm trying to think who they played last week.
They beat the
Was it
Jets.
the Jets? It's funny because I was like, who did they beat? I couldn't remember. But last week, I looked at them without McCaffrey. I was like, they gonna be all right.
Oh, Sam Darnold got him, boy. Sam Darnold undefeated in these streets.
Oh man. Dave said should have hit him with the "you don't know Mal." That's throwback. That's funny. Danny says, "Are we surprised that they are finally benching Bryce?"
Yes and no. He's been bad, bro.
I know he's been
He's been
awful.
bad. But at the same time, it's only his like it ain't even been 20 games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I could see both sides.
Oh, this Eagles Falcons game is good.
or bad,
Good.
depending on how you look at it.
That's true. That's true.
But I'll say I'm not surprised because he's been very terrible. Very terrible.
Yeah. The other game, the third game that I listened to in the car, Texans versus Bears. That was a
Speaking
low
of
scoring
terrible,
film. Yeah.
Caleb Williams had some terrible throws. Derek Stingley picked off one of them. But CJ Stroud didn't look all that great yesterday because the Bears defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
And they were putting some pressure on him, and he made some plays getting out the pocket with a few good throws. But ultimately it was a defensive affair. In the third quarter, I think it was one field goal, 6 punts, and an interception, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you another one too. Oh, I ain't gonna say another one. I want to first say praying for Tua and his latest concussion and stuff. People are saying that he suffered it Thursday against Buffalo when they got beat 31-7. My question, Ant, at this point, with all the concussions he's had, should he hang it up?
Yep. He already said he wouldn't, but
Yeah. Yeah. Danny said, I listened to the end of this one, but it was pretty much over with. Danny said, Commanders were killing me with their red zone offense. JD, get them down the field and then stall field goal again. Yeah, he set the record with seven field goals in the game. Got the win. As the Redskins beat the Giants,
who?
Commanders beat the Giants 21-18.
Well, you must be tired over there, boy.
Hey, man, I had a 10-hour drive. Actually, I did. I
That
drove
man,
10 hours down
yeah,
on Thursday.
that man went back about 3-4 years.
Yeah. They beat Washington. They changed names 3 times, 4 times.
That's what I'm saying. You went back 3 names ago.
Yeah. But yeah, they got the win there. Shout out to the cameraman out there in
Boy,
Commanders Giants games, capturing all the scenes and stuff. They got a picture of Jaden's mother, Miss Jackson. It's great to see her at the games. So always support, staying strong. That was another good one, man. That from this weekend. The Bucks Lions.
I don't know nothing about it.
Bucks Lions was a good one, and Colts Packers. I had the Packers winning that one. I had them winning that one, but I'm not Packers. I had the Colts winning that one with the Packers being without Love. Malik Willis got to start now.
The old boy threw up on the ball for him. You know, like,
Dude, that terrible. Terrible. The Patriots and the Seahawks winning the overtime. Seahawks got the win 23-20. Have you been impressed with the Patriots so far?
yeah.
Shout out to Mayo or Gerard May. And Jacoby Brissett, too. Speaking of Jacoby Brissett.
Man, the Eagles about to cost me some money, man.
They already costing me some. I just need to win by 5.5. So that means 6 points. Give me 6. We good. All right, man. You got anything else before we get up here? Sean O'Malley got beat down. I ain't never seen him look that bad. I know
it's football season. I don't care about UFC no more.
Man, the football was off. All the football was on TV.
Ain't no such thing as no all the football off, man.
It was off.
This game's till like 1 o'clock in the morning, bro. Hawaii always playing somebody.
Yeah. Yep. Anything else? I'm trying to think. Any other actually decent NFL? Marvin Harrison making a big statement. Came out on fire yesterday as Arizona took down
decent game. He had 4 catches for 100-some yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Did all that in the first half.
Broncos 0-2. Bo Nix 246 yards and 2 picks.
My prediction ain't looking too good, man.
Mine ain't either, because Texas gonna run away with it. Detroit could. That Texas by itself gonna mess me up. Everybody else is wide open.
Yeah, but my Bo Nix being the best rookie, having the best record of all the rookies, it ain't looking too good right now.
Yeah, it's tied up with Jaden and Caleb. Who else you got? Think though. Who else is a rookie? It's just those 3, right? That's
and
no Drake May. Drake May.
Yeah.
Drake May. Oh, he won and 1 too. That's right.
But he ain't starting though. But I was really talking about the starters.
I thought Drake. No, I just said Jacoby Brissett. I'm tripping.
I told you tired, bro.
I am. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. Dave said Canelo won again and will continue dodging Benavidez.
Probably so.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can get out of here. Some of the rookie of the year QBs are struggling. Bryce, AR. What? Who AR? Not Anthony Richardson. He not a rookie.
She said, or year 2.
Oh. Yeah, let's get up out of here. All right, man. We'll be back on Wednesday. James Williams from UCLA will be joining us as we break down the preview the game. See a little bit about UCLA. UCLA just lost to Indiana. That's another one. Didn't talk about that one. Yeah, that's interesting. No comment. All right, man. Let me get the theme music going. We'll be back on Wednesday. Like that, we out.
This show was presented by betonline.ag.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.